Hello, sales dev. I just wanted to tack on an additional note about dedicated. Um, so previously we've talked about security and how it's a big deal. I want to talk a little bit about one additional offering that we have and how to use it in your opportunities. So this offering is dedicated, and what it is it's a special version of GitLab. So give you an example of this. When you go to our pricing page, there is GitLab.com or SaaS or self-managed, and then there's also dedicated. So we're talking about this third option here. So dedicated is a single tenant um, version of our SaaS service. And so I'll explain what that means. A little more about it is that you can deploy in whatever AWS region you want, and we manage it. So one of the great advantages of dedicated is when you have a self-hosted environment, you have to use your engineers to upkeep that environment. When you get dedicated, we actually do all of that work for you. It's mostly ultimate features, and because of this professional services aspect, it costs more than ultimate. So the way to think about it is think about an environment that we manage for you, and that's what dedicated is. So talking a little bit more about what single tenant SaaS service is, I'll start with multi-tenant SaaS. Multi-tenant SaaS is where when one business has a bunch of servers that runs their application. So for instance, GitHub, us, Okta, and the same servers that is housing one customer's data is also housing another customer's data. And then so if a hacker gets into this environment, this hacker gets access to many different customers' data because it's all the same environment. And because of this, it's a big target. So companies like Okta, they have security vulnerabilities all the time. So literally March 2021, March 2022, and December 2022, these are three breaches that we know about. Um, and so any sort of multi-tenant SaaS service, because that set of servers houses multiple customer data, it's a bigger incentive for hackers to come in and try to steal that data. Now, contrast that with single tenant SaaS. In single tenant SaaS, you still have servers that are running your website like GitHub or GitLab, but it's only your customer data. So over here, Google's servers are it's only Google's data is on these servers. So just to make it a GitLab example, let's just say that this is Apple's dedicated environment. Then this would be 6 servers that are housing only Apple's code. This is 4 servers that are housing only Google's code. And we are managing these environments for you. So all of these companies can have access to the GitLab web service, but their customer data, their data is separated from everyone else. And because of this, hackers have less incentive to come in and steal their data. And also, it's harder to just get into these environments in general. So just to recap, why single tenant is better is because hackers have to spend more work to get less with a single tenant SaaS service. So just in summary, um, we've been talking about security. Dedicated is a great option for security conscious and highly regulated companies. So what I mean by that is companies like finance, utilities, companies that have a lot of regulations. That's great for dedicated. Sometimes some of these regulations require people to be on single tenant SaaS. Okay. Some calls to action for us as a sales development organization. If you're speaking to an enterprise or public sector organization that is big and potentially highly regulated, be sure to mention dedicated as a deployment option when qualifying opportunities. So in your first meeting, talk about, hey, we have 3 flavors, SaaS, self-hosted, and dedicated, and talk through each one. If you want to go after accounts and sell them on dedicated, the current sequence that we have this is FY25 outbound dedicated. And just to recap a little bit about why, it's a great solution for some of these people because it's so it's just a higher level of security. And for you as the sales development team representative, it's the highest pipeline contribution value for both you and the company. Once again, it's our most expensive option. So that's a little bit about us and Dedicated. Hope this helps. Thanks.